Continuing with question number 5 from RACE-3 of the Secureum Bootcamp, it says that assuming the in Secureum NFT contract is deployed in production, i.e. live for users on mainnet without any changes to shown code, A, the use of evident test configuration will cause fewer NFTs to be minted than expected in production. Now, what is this talking about? Basically, it says that if we deploy the contract snippet as is, exactly as it is, to production for usage, for live usage by real users, then there is evident test configuration which will cause fewer NFTs to be minted than expected. And if we look, we can see here that we have two constants. One is token limit and one is sale limit. And these are currently hard-coded set to very small numbers. So at the moment, only 10 NFTs would be able to be minted, because token limit actually includes the sale limit as well. And we see here that it says in the comment that 10 is for testing, and it should be 13,337 for production. And here the sale limit, 5 is for testing, it should be 1,337 for production. So it could happen by accident that this is deployed and people forget to update this, and then it would the incorrect configuration would be live. And further than that, you usually want to deploy the same code that you tested. So here we would need to make code changes before we do the deployment, which is also a bad practice. So instead, it would be much better if these would be set during the constructor, for example, if this would be parameterized to ensure that it can't happen that these test variables are committed as they are. And this is actually also this is also what option B is about, because it currently illustrates the lack of best practice for test parameterization to be removed or kept separate from production code. So yeah, this, just as we said, it would be the best practice to remove these test values from the code and instead have them parameterized as constructor parameters, for example. This is also, it would also be better that way, because that way the tests wouldn't have to change, because currently this hard coding basically forces the tests also to assume these hard coded values, and maybe the tests want to test what happens if this value is hit, if that is correctly happening, and maybe our automated tests actually want to make use of a very small token limit to check whether it correctly prevents further tokens from being minted. And in that case, it would be kind of wasteful to have it mint the full amount to just test the maximum amount, basically. So parameterizing this would also make writing tests a lot easier. So use of evident test configuration will cause fewer NFTs to be minted than expected in production is correct. It also illustrates the lack of best practice for test parameterization. B is also correct. Then we have C, it says it will behave as documented in code to mint the expected number of NFTs in production. So what is documented? Basically, it's documented that these and these numbers of tokens should be able to be minted, which is definitely currently not correct. And there's also this implicit assumption about the number of blocks that are minted. And furthermore, there's also this, because currently the num tokens variable is only incremented when the receiver of an NFT mint is a contract. We can see here that this variable is checked against the token limit, and if an EOA is minting these NFTs, then this test would fail, basically, because EOAs would not increment the number of tokens. So this is also pretty wrong in my opinion. So I would definitely say that if it would be deployed as is, currently it would not behave as documented or behave as expected. And therefore I would say that only A and B are the correct options here.